All right, guys, welcome back to another episode on Proven Power Cycles. For those who don't know me, my name is Eric, and I'm the tuner here at Proven Power Cycles, and we have today a 2019 Yamaha R6. So guys, this bike came to us from another shop. I believe it has a full M4 system, and I'm pretty sure it's got an air filter. So these things have a little restrictor in the air box. So more than likely they took it out. I'd be very surprised if they haven't taken it out already. So what we're gonna do here today, we are gonna dyno it, we're gonna flash and tune it. It's got a Power Commander 5. It sits up here. I just have it out of the way for the pickup. So I don't know what the Power Commander 5 looks like inside of it, the mapping. I haven't looked at it yet. So we're gonna flash the ECU and tweak this Power Commander, kind of dial them in at the same time. This is going to be a street bike and a occasional track bike out on road course racing. So the one thing I wanted to really specifically kind of point out to you guys, and I've made videos in the past about it, but this bike has a restrictor in it, or they call them decibel killers, okay? Silencers, whatever you want to call it, all right? So they do this because at our local road course tracks, at Jennings especially, they're very strict about the decibel readings and how loud the bikes are, okay? So we've already got the bike all warmed up. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run the bike, I'll put a flash in it, okay? So it'll at least have a nice base flash. With all the restrictions taken out, it'll be kind of close, all right? We're gonna show you guys the top end and the power band, and then what we'll do is we'll take this silencer, decibel killer, whatever you wanna call it, we'll take this out, and then we'll rerun the bike to show you guys how much power is being left on the table and how different the tune is with and without the silencer in there, okay? So that's gonna be my target today. I always try to show you guys something a little new on all these bikes. So that's what we're gonna try to do for you guys, try to target that, show you guys how this all works. And yeah, so with that, let's go ahead and fire up the bike and do some baselines. All right, guys, so we just got done putting a base map into the RSX, wow, the R6 here. We have the baseline. It is at 103 horsepower with 43 pound-foot of torque, which isn't horrible, but it's also not that great. So it's pretty fat all throughout the power band. You know, 12.5, 12.1, wow, 12.1. 12.5, 12.1. So if you notice here, we have a little bit it's lean a little bit, and we have a enrichment here. It goes a little rich. So it goes really rich at 8K, 8,000 RPM, and then it shoots up, then it comes back down. So it's kind of all over the place here with the fuel mapping, but not anywhere nice. I'll be honest with you. It's not the best fuel map. So we de-restricted it, disabled some of the check engine light stuff, some of the emission sensor stuff. And yeah, we're gonna go from there. So like I said, we pulled up the Power Commander map, and it's honestly, it looks like your standard Power Commander 5 map, just a handful of changes here. This one's kind of odd. It looks like somebody messed with the 20% fuel column. There's a bunch of numbers down here. So, and then we have a lot of fuel actually being pulled out up here at the top end. So it's gonna be not a lot of fuel, just yeah, this is a considerable amount here. So we're gonna see what happens here. Let's we're gonna baseline it again now that this is kind of flashed, and then I'll do a quick little touch up in the Power Commander, get the AFRs kind of, you know, in the proper range, at least get it close enough. And then we're gonna go over the numbers again. We'll take the silencer out and then go from there. So, and then we'll get you guys some final numbers. All right, guys, so we just got done pulling the silencer out. The bike is still pretty warm, so we're gonna kick the fans back on and go back over it. Real quickly, we'll analyze the numbers here real quick. So we only did a couple of passes. I only did a handful of passes, all right? So, and again, I just kind of wanted to get the AFRs somewhat close. We had a little disturbance here. I think it's more of the sensor freaking out than the actual AFR jumping like that. Because we had a few runs that were real similar. I just don't like beating on the bikes with the silencers too much in the dyno room. It doesn't have enough airflow like as if you're on the open road, so I don't want to cause any damage to the motor or anything. So we only picked up a couple of horsepower down low, and I mean, if you want to get picky, we picked up about 6 wheel up top here, and that was about it. The rest of it looks the same. So honestly, he might have already had a flash on this bike. We just got done talking to the shop not too long ago that it came from, and they said they don't know the history of the bike. The new owner of the bike just purchased it, so he doesn't really know what's been done to it. So it might have already been flashed, because usually when you de-restrict it, up top here, you get a kind of a bigger jump than this. So either A, the silencer is pulling out more power than I think, or B, this bike has already been flashed and it's already been de-restricted and all that jazz. So, but with that, let's run it without the silencer. Let's see what happens. We got that 2019 R6 all wrapped up, and the shop came and picked it up tonight, and they are going to test it tomorrow. They're going to go out for a ride. They're going to make sure all the issues are resolved, okay? So after speaking with them during the pickup, they told me that it had choppy on-off throttle, real twitchy, had a... there was another issue they told me. I want to say, like, when it got to higher RPM, it felt a little off too. I can't remember exactly everything, but I remember the major issue, he said it was around 8 to 10,000 RPM. When you're rolling into that throttle, it just kind of had this bucking sensation to it. So everything I've tested on the dyno, I didn't feel it, I didn't notice it, but then again, I also didn't really ride it around too much with that other map. I'm trying to be a little bit quicker with a lot of my stuff now, so I just kind of cut to the chase, put my map in, and say, all right, let's go, let's get let's get to work, and see if they're happy with the results, right? One of the biggies that it could be in the ECU is a lot of times, like the fuel kill, the deceleration, what will happen is, for emission purposes, it will turn off the injectors, right? So it turns off, so you get zero fuel flow going into the engine, right? So one of the things to do to kind of help smooth that throttle out is the deceleration fuel kill. So you can disable that to where the injectors are still going to squirt, and basically you still have a little bit of fuel. So that transitioning back on it, you still have some fuel in it, so the motor's still like running, you know what I mean? So it makes it a little easier to roll into that throttle. That, you pair that with a good, acceleration ETV mapping and some other odds and ends that we do. But once you pair it all up together, you get a nice smooth transition, and the bike will ride pretty good. So let's go over some numbers. And another side note, for those of you who are new to my channel, we just recently moved. We're in kind of more like a dyno cell, so we're working on it. We got a couple little insulations. We're starting to install that. We just got done with our roof, or ceiling rather. We just got done installing all the panels, and we put insulation all up in there. So it's a little dirty right now. You can kind of see it up in the corner. But anyway, we just got done doing a lot of installation in here as well. And as you can see, again, we started to put some paneling up. So we're gonna paint around all this crap too. But I just want to show you guys kind of what we're dealing with. So the other kicker is we don't have a good proper airflow. Given that we're in a small room now, we don't have a lot of airflow like we did at the old location where it was an open atmosphere. So we're drawing a lot of hot air back into the bike whenever we're running them. So our numbers lately, I've noticed, have been a little bit on the lower end, but that's okay. Not stressing it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna fix that, fix the induction. We're gonna get a fresh air fan here. Gonna cut a hole in the wall right there, get nice fresh air coming in from outside, and then we're gonna have a nice exhaust fan out the back. So But anyways, let's go over the final numbers here and wrap this up. So came in making 103 horsepower with 43 pound-foot of torque right here on the baseline. So the blue one is the baseline. See right here, baseline. So then what we did is we flashed it with the silencer. And you guys saw this. We bumped it up to 104 with 43. So, and like I said earlier, I believe this bike did have a flash already in it, and the tech that I spoke to said that the fans kicked on early. So he said they kicked on around like low 200. So I'm assuming it did have a flash. Also based on the rest of this mapping, it looks really similar to a flash DCU already. So then with the silencer pulled, okay, we got it all the way up to 110 with 45, almost 46 pound-foot of torque, okay? So all in all, we picked up 7 wheel horsepower, peak versus peak. And then we also picked up an additional about 2.5 pound-foot of torque, peak versus peak. So, but if you actually go through some of this, all in all, we're gaining anywhere from, let's see, 96.4, 6. So we picked up about 6 wheel here. So we're around that 6% threshold. So guys, just removing your silencer, your DB killer, whatever you want to call it, just removing that, he picked up 6% on his power, okay? So 6%, your butt dyno is going to notice that. That's a very noticeable difference. That's a massive difference, okay? So for those of you who are at the track, if you don't have to run a silencer, don't run it as long as you're tuned to have it with it removed, okay? So in other words, you want to make sure your tune is okay with the silencer out versus tuning it with the silencer in and then you remove it. Don't do that because then the bike's going to run lean and all that jazz. So get it tuned with the silencer removed and then put the silencer in unless if you have to run that silencer, put it in after you've been tuned with it out, okay? So that way it'll run a little fat, it'll run a little rich. That's okay. It's better than running lean. You don't want it to run lean. That's how you create massive issues in your engine, okay? So but all in all, man, pretty damn good compared to how he came in. Let's take off the middleman here and just go comparing the flash versus how it came in with the silencer removed. So even right here with the transition, with the velocity stack transition, I mean, look at this. He's picking up 8 wheel horsepower, almost 9 wheel with that transition. And again, here's 10 wheel. So again, this is flash versus flash, but with the silencer removed. Again, you know, compared to how the bike came in. So, but all in all, picked up damn good power, like I said. So pretty happy all in all. Got a good air fuel curve. We had a little here at 8,500, 8,700 or so. We enriching this up, but on this particular pass, it just ran a little lean again, but not a big deal, guys. During that transition, it's not the end of the world. And again, we fatten it up. We always add a few extra percentage before they leave, but all in all, we're at good air fuel, pretty straight line all the way across. Very happy with it, not gonna stress it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please hit that like and subscribe button if you don't mind. Leave a comment down below, tell me what you think. And aside from, yeah, the numbers are low, my bike made 117, whatever. We've made good power on these R6s. Like I said, once we get this airflow thing fixed, no problem. This thing, all the numbers are gonna be back to what I expect them to be. Normally a bike like this, I make about 114 wheel back in the other location. So we're off about 4, and that's been pretty consistent with the other bikes that I've dynoed now too, with the ZX10s and some of the other guys. We're all down about 4 or 5 wheel horsepower. So this makes sense all in all. But anyway, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the video, guys. We love you. Thanks for the support. See you on another episode.